More news, but we first shift gears to the conversation this evening. It is the by-elections of 2025, the aftermath. What lessons do we pick? What are some of the things that we say we need to do better? Dr. Barrack Muluka, strategic and political communications consultant, as well as the Secretary General DNA Party, and Dr. Moses Mwangi, who's a governance expert and a politician. Gentlemen, thank you so much for creating time. We know just how critical these by-elections were, not just for the politician, but for the people of Kenya. Dr. Barrack, today you write to say that you find it difficult to appreciate or to congratulate those that carried the day in Malava, to be precise. And that reminds me of a document that is sent to the newsrooms by your party, speaking of the withdrawal of the gentleman that you had fronted for this particular seat. The two scenarios where this gentleman says that he is going to support Ndakwa, who was the winner, and the document that comes from your party that speaks of your support for the United Opposition candidate, or the DAP Kenya candidate, that is Seth Panyako, would perhaps, speak of a person that is disappointed with the results, yes. But I thought that healthy politics would dictate for us to go ahead and say it's all right, a win for you, congratulations. We move forward in terms of making sure that we serve our people. Why do you find it difficult to congratulate?
Okay, thank you very much, Linda, and thank you to the viewers. First, I acknowledge that I'm all those things that you have introduced me as, a communications advisor and Secretary General of DNA. But I want to speak a little more, or a lot more, as the academician that I am, Doctor of Philosophy in Political Science, and a graduate of Language and Linguistics. Words have value. When we say the person who won and we say the person who was declared the winner, the two are different.
Okay.
And so, as a linguist, I will say that I find it difficult to associate myself with the joys of the people who were declared the winners rather than the persons who won, because the two are two worlds apart.
Are you saying that the elections were fluid?
Everybody saw that. It's self-evident. You do not need even any critical instruments of assessment to conclude that they were flawed. First, as a resident of Kakamega County, I recognized that there was a political tourist who camped there from the day Moses Injend Malulu passed on, and who made it his vocation and a vocation similarly to spend time in that constituency treating voters. There was so much money in the electorate in Kakamega. I don't think we have ever seen as much money in that area. I think there must even be hyperinflation following the money that the domestic tourist brought there, the one who was treating the women to lewd dances, turning them around, and inviting us to horizontal imaginations. We know who that tourist was, and it was that tourist who even called the poll for Ndakwa. We know about the arson, we know about the destruction of vehicles and other property, we know about the disruption of meetings. Now look, we cannot come out of a situation such as that one and then declare that we have won. We declare that you have been declared the winner. But allow me just 1.5 minutes to contextualize all these things within the framework of elections. Why is it that elections are held? Why do we hold elections? it all boils down to the opportunities and resources in the environment, and the people in that environment, and how they relate to each other and to the resources and the opportunities within that environment. We call that environment a polity. And the affairs of the polity we call politics.
Right.
And within that political environment, therefore, we decide how we are going to relate to one another, to the opportunities, to the resources, and we organize an institution called government. And within that institution called government, we establish laws that are going to govern how we relate with regard to all these things that I have mentioned.
Okay.
And so the settlement of individuals to become the ones in government is a matter that requires the consent of the governed. And you do not get the consent of the governed through intimidation, through tear gas, through bribery, through other ways and methods of tampering with the poll.
Well,